Human experiences are what ultimately define a person. When you think of any individual you know, they've all made their own personal decisions in life that have led them to their current state. These experiences could include individual, collective, psychological, emotional, or intellectual human experiences.
You always say I want to experience things, but I don't think you actually want to experience things because
You would experience it if you wanted to experience it.
The two examples I'll be using are the poem Picture of Childhood, written by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, and The Crucible, written by Arthur Miller. The term crucible means having a test and purification process, so you can't be more on the nose than that. Both of these examples relate to the concept of McCarthyism. McCarthyism stemmed from the campaign against alleged communists in the US government back in the early 50s. McCarthyism simply means the practice of making accusations of subversion and treason. This will be very important, so keep that in mind. For context, The Crucible highlights Salem's witch trials and how the fear of the town led to multiple deaths. Since the town is dominated by Christianity, any sign of witchcraft or traces of the devil is repulsed upon. In 1693, more than 200 people were accused and 19 were killed. Arthur Miller wrote this story not as a historically accurate biography, but as a reflection of the mass cultural and political hysteria from the suppression of communism led by none other than Joseph McCarthy. Characters such as Reverend Parris and Danforth represent McCarthy in ways, as Parris values reputation above all else. An example is when referring to his own daughter, he says, "your cousin," rather than "my daughter." He's detaching himself from her, and more concerned about his status in the town. Now, onto the topics. With the wrong outlook, authority can be quite a dangerous thing. The Crucible depicts authority as corrupt due to their paranoia. This is foreseen through the austere laws presented by the church. This is present in one of Reverend Hale's quotes: "The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone." The irony in this statement is that they believe everyone is affiliated with acts of witchcraft, while this was false. Apart from Mayor Warren, but you get the point. They didn't know that. The court bases their authority off of unprincipled beliefs. This highlights the court's actions without forethought or proper reason, and how a corrupt authority can overthrow an entire community. When we think of a community, we often think of a large group of people, as this makes us feel secure and sheltered against any possible threat. But what you might not have considered was that a community can very easily become flustered, leading to rash, harmful decisions. Reverend Hale states, "Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small." This one line demonstrates how Salem is dominated by puritanical views. The metaphor of this line is that any questioning of religion or high authority is contumelious and ridiculous. Sound familiar? You could use Abigail and the group of girls as a representation of this. A whole group can come across as powerful and strong. This is why belonging to a community is desired by all, and the inclination to belong is a highly valued human experience. Rebellion can quite often be mistaken for criminality or delinquency, but it's more mutiny for a good cause. The goal of a rebellion is for a positive change for either yourself and/or others. However, rebellion is often frowned upon by the collective, and can be quite dangerous to maintain. This is evident through the derogatory language John Proctor has towards the town. "Spite only keeps me silent. It is hard to give a lie to dogs." Proctor expresses his loathing towards the current circumstances through the dehumanizing or zoomorphic language he uses towards the townsfolk. Characters like Parris, Danforth, and Abigail all put reputation over integrity. Proctor's wife, Elizabeth Proctor, further admires his rebellious intent. As before Proctor is executed for denying his involvement in witchcraft, Elizabeth says, "He have his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him. Even though he is killed, he rests with his purity." This event shows that you may be despised even with good intentions, like refuting the town's foolishness. Picture of Childhood holds many similarities to The Crucible. The title of the poem contradicts itself. The poem is about violence and standing up against the collective. The boy in the story is witnessing someone getting beaten. The line, "into the spring snow that was turning into mud," represents the contrast between childhood and the brutal nature of the collective. "It may have been 100, and I will never make 101. shows how daunting it would be to rebel, as it feels like hundreds of people, so the easiest and most common route would be to follow the collective. It's a stretch, but a good depiction of this would be sheep or Among Us. To conclude, humans can have similar, if not the same experiences as each other. We all want to belong, we don't like arguing with a crowd of people, and we all hate police. I mean, we all look up to and fear authority. Is it a good thing? No. But what can't be denied is that it is a basic human experience that we all are familiar with. We should only thrive to make better decisions. Have a good day.